On the 18th of January 1778, James Cook revealed the Hawaiian Islands to the world. Europeans saw a paradise of fresh fruit and half-naked beauties. By bringing firearms, disease, and a foreign religion to the natives, the European colonizers virtually wiped out the ancient sexual traditions of the Maoli, as the Hawaiians call themselves. But even the part that has survived from the depths of time in the memories of travelers is enough to immerse you in this wonderful world of lust and carnal pleasure. Such an advanced people as the Maoli had an extensive mythology with its unusual creatures, gods and demigods. Some of their myths were frankly obscene to modern Puritans. Historian Kirill Reznikov, in his book, Desires of the Flesh, Food and Sex in People's Lives, cites one such myth. Once a volcano goddess named Pele, who had a frivolous temperament, was walking in the mountains of the island of Hawaii and noticed a lower god, Kamapua, known for his lust, sneaking up on her. This god looked like a slim and handsome young man when he was not in lust, but when he was aroused, he turned into a disgusting pig. The moment he sneaked up on her, he was already gripped by passion and half transformed into a half-man, half-pig. The prospect of sex with such a creature horrified the goddess and she rejected Kamapua, but he was unstoppable. Fortunately for Pele, her sister Kapo, the goddess of witchcraft, came to the rescue. She was on another island and could not come to her aid, but she was not confused. She lifted her skirt, grabbed her fertility organ and threw it at the insolent boar. The boar took a blow to the face and flew 200 kilometers to the island of Oahu. According to another version, quoted by the same Reznikov, Kapo simply diverted Kamapua's attention and gave Pele time to hide from the sorrowful lover. There were other legends about the interaction between humans and the younger deities, the spirits. For example, historian Amy Marsh, in her article, The Joy of the People of Old Hawaii, tells the story of a woman who went to Honolulu and fell in love with a handsome man who only came to her at night. This lover turned out to be a mo'o, a water or dragon spirit. While making love to him, the girl became weak and painful from longing for her lover, and the right side of her body, which was in contact with her lover, became slippery and pale like a fish. One day, the girl's uncle got wind of their union and was able to exorcise the water spirit and save his niece. Polynesians believed in a kind of vital or divine force that people and certain objects are endowed with. This force is called mana. For this reason, Maoli leaders tried to conceive their first child from a female relative, sometimes even from their sisters. All this was done to conserve mana and make the future child even more powerful. Moreover, if a high-ranking chieftain had children with a commoner, he could even demand that they be killed. Such was the importance of mana that even sexual and social relationships depended on its quantity. Amy Marsh in the above article gives the example of a chief called Kamehameha I who had 27 wives, one of whom, his niece Keapuolani, was superior in mana. So even he, the ruler, had to remove his loincloth and remain naked in her presence, and during intercourse she always took the position on top. And what about other people? As Amy Marsh writes, no ordinary chief or commoner would dare touch her or even come near her, lest the offender be burnt alive. Kamehameha and Keapuolani had 3 children, 2 of whom, a brother and sister, also married. Obviously, they expected to produce a child with even greater mana. But their daughter Nahiena'ena died in infancy, either from the amount of power she had inherited, or from illness caused by repeated consanguinity. In ancient Hawaii, children were prepared from infancy for later sexual activity. Milton Diamond, Ph.D., in his article, Sexual Behavior in Pre-Contact Hawaii, a Sexological Ethnography, describes daily rituals to prepare children of both sexes. Girls were rubbed with breast milk and candle nut oil. The next of kin, mother or aunt, sometimes grandmother, performed the act. But the most extravagant acts were performed on male parts. From birth, the same mothers, aunts or grandmothers would blow air into them. According to the Hawaiians, This contributed to the fact that there were no major problems with the later circumcision and the boy became a healthy and strong lover. This was done daily until the boy could urinate standing up, and then every 3 days until a special kahuna priest performed the circumcision at the age of 6 or 7. Most surprisingly, according to Diamond, as late as the 1980s some Hawaiians claimed to have undergone similar procedures as children, and one European man, after marrying a Maoli girl and producing an heir, was horrified to discover that his mother-in-law was doing the same thing while babysitting his son. No amount of persuasion from the anxious father had any effect on her desire to give her grandson strength and health in this exotic way. The Hawaiians took the sexual education of the younger generation very seriously. After the above procedures, when the children were able to learn, the grandfathers took care of the boys and the same grandmothers took care of the girls. The grandfather would tell them how to please a woman and the grandmother would teach the girls how to move their hips properly to seduce their partner. She also told them how to tense the internal muscles to make sexual pleasure more vivid. The researcher does not say how this was done. In the upper aristocracy, the sexual education of girls and boys was carried out by aunts, and sex between them was not something to be condemned, and the children of such coitus were viewed positively. As soon as children were more or less mature, they quietly began to make love both to each other and to older partners. And preliminary caresses were not particularly welcome. The couple, having barely met, proceeded almost immediately to coitus, and the skills of the partners were often quite great. In addition, according to the researcher Rachel Sowerby in the article, What Was Sex Like in Ancient Hawaii? Sexual skills were socially important. If a young man was lazy and selfish about sex, word of mouth spread quickly and he was ridiculed. A good lover, on the other hand, was praised and elevated. Sexuality permeated all aspects of Hawaiian society. Many songs and dances were devoted to various aspects of sexuality, sometimes explicitly, sometimes allegorically describing various sexual practices. In addition, many place names on the map of the Hawaiian Islands still have names that are strange to our ears. For example, the beach on the island of Oahu is called Ulahawa, dirty penis, and the coastal area on the island of Maui is called Lahoole, no scrotum. What about a river in Hawaii called Kohanu, cold vagina? And even the star at its zenith in Hawaii is called Hokulea or orgasm star. In general, the word leia in the Maoli language means both orgasm, pleasure, joy, fun, and to be happy. That's all you need to know about traditional Hawaiian attitudes to sex. The institution of marriage in its modern sense was brought to Hawaii by European missionaries. Before that, the Maoli were quite happy with cohabitation, where a man and a woman who liked each other simply lived together, and all the members of a large clan family took care of the children. Traditionally, all sisters were considered mothers and all brothers were considered fathers. So, if a blood mother died, the child still received the necessary share of care. In ancient Hawaii, non-royal adults often played a wife-swapping game called ume. To play the game, a group would sit in a circle, and a man with a long wand trimmed with bird feathers picked out one man and one woman. Whether or not they were married, the chosen couple would then depart to enjoy each other's company. The Hawaiians could change partners quite easily, and they could sleep with the old ones without becoming jealous of the new ones. But there were also times when a deep spiritual bond was formed with someone, and then the death of such a lover was very hard on the partner. He would wander among the living completely naked. This was considered a sign of madness, and could even take part of the lover's or beloved's bones from the grave to sleep with them. This is like Romeo and Juliet the Hawaiian way.